We are living in extraordinary times. The last few months have been unprecedented on how the coronavirus has impacted on all our lives. We have seen the best and worst of human behaviour, for those that were panic buying back in March, to those that were supporting people in the community that were vulnerable and needed shielding. We have made a number of changes to how we run our business to ensure that we can keep branches and shops open, ensuring that our colleagues, members and customers stay safe. Myself and Nick will take you through just a few of the challenges that we've faced over the last few months. As well as our colleagues stepping up, so have our local suppliers. They've really been marvellous in maintaining the supply of goods. The top sellers have been bacon, sausage, eggs and mushrooms. The good old English breakfast, not forgetting home baking with flour seeing 500% increase. I must say I've not seen any of the cakes. We are still dealing with some of the challenges brought about by the panic buying we saw back in March, but we're doing all we can to get back to having a full supply of everything. We are constantly reviewing and refining our risk assessments to ensure the safety of our colleagues and customers. Some of the measures we have taken include installing screens to our till points, applying social distancing through the use of signs and floor markings, enhancing cleaning regimes, putting in place temporary restrictions whilst filling our stores also, self-service tills to encourage cashless payments and introducing Snappy Shopper delivery service. With most people having to stay at home, we saw an expected dip in sales at our forecourts, down nearly 80%. We are beginning to see the trend change as people start to return to the new normal. The human cost of the pandemic has been significant for many families. We really felt for our clients not being able to have a full funeral service they wanted due to social distancing. We know how upsetting this has been, and we introduced live streaming for family members who were not able to attend services. We have been very mindful of the need for bereavement support services at this time, and our funeral colleagues continue to deliver that service with compassion and care over the phone. In the first few months of lockdown, our funeral branches had to close, but I'm pleased to say all of our funeral branches are now open. Our colleagues at Perfects were furloughed during this time, and as all of furloughed colleagues, we topped up their pay to 100%. Many of our colleagues in our travel business were also furloughed, as all non-essential travel was stopped. Colleagues who continued to work from home did a fantastic job helping those stranded abroad at the beginning of the lockdown to get home. They have organised refunds, and 2/3 of our clients have rebooked with us for their holidays in 2021-22, with the rest taking refunds, but with an eye of rebooking with us in the future. I'm pleased to say all our travel branches are now fully open.
Thanks, Roger. Our colleagues across the business have adapted brilliantly, working tirelessly throughout with great care and commitment. We've prepared Worsted Park so it can be used safely when the time is right for a phased return, both for us and our tenants. Colleagues from finance, retail support, IT, HR, health and safety, marketing and property, to us, the Joint Chief Execs, have been working remotely. For many of them, it hasn't been just where they work that has changed. Our health and safety and HR teams have had to implement and carry out occupational health assessments. Our community team have changed how they support and distribute funds to local good causes, and Neil will talk more about this a bit later on. And our colleagues in HR have had to put in place systems and support for colleagues shielding at home and being furloughed. Some of our office-based colleagues also took on completely different roles by joining our teams in stores, helping them to keep the shelves stacked and to take in deliveries. We've worked with our tenants both here at Worsted Park and elsewhere throughout the region to assist them to remain trading through this challenging period by endeavouring to tailor agreements to meet their individual circumstances. We're under no illusion how difficult these last few months have been for many of them, and as a co-op we're committed to dealing with our tenants fairly, objectively and considerately. Our residential portfolio has been relatively unaffected to date, but for the handful of those who have been affected, we've worked to find agreements to keep the tenants in their homes. We continue to support the local economy by using locally based contractors and supply chains to create decent family homes to rent in our region. 5 family homes were completed in July in New Street, Woodbridge, and I'm pleased to say are now all fully let. Work has also started on 3 new family homes in Rushmere St Andrew, just outside Ipswich. We're expecting these to be completed in early 2021. Following a period of furlough, members of our events team are now back at work supporting us with today's virtual annual members meeting and making the most of the outside space we have here at Worsted Park by organising a variety of events including opera in the park, a farmers market and family fun days. However, with the tightening of the COVID restrictions imposed by the government, it's going to become more and more challenging to operate such events in a safe manner.
Cheers, Nick. I hope that's given you some insight on how we've adapted over the last few months to cope with the coronavirus. We are constantly monitoring how we run our business to ensure that we keep our customers and colleagues safe, and we will continue to make the necessary changes. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our suppliers, partners, tenants, colleagues, customers and members for their continuing support.